The Lakers' first training camp of 2025 is done, and honestly, there's already drama to unpack. From injury news, to who might miss opening night, to how they're handling players' health, the vibe is being sold as Obsession by JJ Redick. Yes, he even had shirts made for it, like a college coach trying too hard to prove a point. Reporters focused on what was said during day one, and we'll break it all down, add some interviews, and show the camp scene at the end. Stick around if you want all of that. But first, the injuries. For guys didn't practice: LeBron James, Gabe Vincent, Marcus Smart, and rookie Adem-Bona. LeBron is already dealing with a glute nerve irritation and sat out, maybe for more than just today. They claim it's just monitoring, but fans are already worried this is another season of load management before it even starts. Reddit is even joking about LeBron creating his own return-to-play protocol. With Smart and Vincent also sidelined and Bona nicked up, the Lakers' obsession theme is already looking more like survival mode. LeBron has been battling glute, groin, and leg issues for years, so it's no surprise the team doesn't want to push him now. What's surprising is that he's actually going along with it. In the past, LeBron hated restrictions and refused to follow protocols that cut his minutes. But this time he seems fine letting the staff control the plan. JJ Redick already said the main target is opening night, which is why this return-to-play routine is in place for him and the other three. As for Marcus Smart, he's got Achilles tendinopathy, the same thing Anthony Davis has struggled with before. The team swears it's not serious, but the phrase return-to-play protocol always sets off alarms, especially with Smart's injury history. They claim it's different from last year's problem. Just some irritation they don't want to aggravate, so he'll be limited for now. The hope, of course, is that he's fine by opening night. But let's be real. Achilles problems don't just go away with a little rest. The plan is for Marcus Smart to be back in full practice by next week, at least according to Mike Trudell and what JJ Redick said after practice. So thankfully, they insist it's nothing too serious. Still, Smart's body has broken down a lot over the past few seasons, so the Lakers have no choice but to watch him carefully. They can't risk overworking him before preseason, let alone the regular season. As for Gabe Vincent, he's already on knee management, which likely ties back to the bone bruise that cost him almost an entire season not long ago. The Lakers are clearly trying to avoid a repeat, giving him light work and holding him back now so he can last later. They want him to stay as durable as last season when he played 73 of 82 games, which for Vincent was a huge win. That's the target again. So with LeBron, Smart, Vincent, and Adem-Bona all sidelined or limited already, the team is spinning this as precaution. But if we're honest, it feels like the Lakers are starting the season on defense before the first tip-off even happens. One player still isn't cleared for camp, dealing with knee swelling, may be ready by next week, but not yet. Those are the latest updates, and the Lakers insist nothing is serious. Supposedly, no one will miss opening night, and barely any of camp. So right now, they're saying there's no reason to panic. Of course, if these guys don't come back soon or miss regular season time, then it's a bigger deal. For now, it's just precaution, holding them back so they don't overdo it and make things worse. Meanwhile, the players actually on the floor were grinding, especially DeAndre Ayton. A photo after practice showed him soaked in sweat, looking like he finally wanted it. On media day, he even said he plans to play angry and prove people wrong. Those who think he's washed or not a team player, Ayton swears he can still make a difference. And with the Lakers desperate for a real center, he'll either silence the critics or give them even more fuel. Between DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, Christian Koloko, and maybe Maxi Kleber in spots, the Lakers' center rotation actually has some upside. After practice, they were even out there shooting together. Hayes, for example, looks a little bigger than last year, something I also noticed on media day. He's officially listed at 225 pounds now, a small bump from last season, showing he's added some muscle. Rookie Adem-Bona has also bulked up, jumping from his college weight of 220 to 234 in less than a year. Normally, that would be a positive sign, except he's dealing with knee swelling from the hyperextension he suffered in February. Putting on that much weight so fast while rehabbing a lower body injury, might actually be slowing his recovery instead of helping it. That's a red flag. Outside of Bona's situation, though, the outlook on Hayes is solid. He's reshaping his body, adding some size, and looks more ready to handle full-time center minutes. If Jackson Hayes can play more like a traditional center instead of bouncing between the 4 and 5, it could help him hold his ground in tough matchups. He's been pushed around before, but with a stronger frame, he might finally be stable around the rim. DeAndre Ayton also bulked up, now listed at 260 after adding 10 pounds, and Maxi Kleber is reportedly fully healthy with no limits. Add Hayes to that group, and the Lakers' big rotation has some power. Another noticeable change is Jared Vanderbilt, who fans online and even the training camp roster confirm has added size. He's gone from 214 last year to 228 now, a 14-pound jump, and he looks like he's in great shape. For Vanderbilt, it's not just the weight, it's the fact that this is his first healthy offseason in 2 years. That gave him time to actually work on his game instead of rehabbing non-stop. Whether that added bulk helps or slows him down is debatable, but what's clear is Vanderbilt put in real work this summer and it shows. So credit to Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, maybe even Adem Bona, for reshaping their bodies. But the biggest Weight Watch story is easily Luka Doncic. His official camp listing says 244 pounds, though it's hard to know how accurate that is. Some reports claimed he slimmed all the way down to 230, even 225, with wild rumors of him dipping to 220. Honestly, that seems like wishful thinking. Luka himself admitted he feels better, says he's in better shape and taking care of his body, but the numbers don't fully match the hype. Last season, reports suggested he showed up close to 280, maybe even 285, so if that's true, then yes, he's dropped a lot since then. Still, it's probably not as low as the Eurobasket numbers people were throwing around. Regardless, Luka looks sharper and fitter than last year, even if the scale tells a different story. Definitely appears to be more committed to his body and diet. Jared Vanderbilt looks great. Jackson Hayes looks great. And they definitely appear to be healthy and motivated entering training camp. But with all of that being said, here's what JJ Redick had to say about their first official practice and first day of training camp. Again, the injury updates, how they looked, what they're working on, so on and so forth. What Redick had to talk about, and a few more additional clips from training camp day 1.
Participated today. Or I guess who did not?
Yeah, I mean, that'd probably be easier. I don't even know if I can name all the participants. LeBron, Marcus, and Gabe, and Adu are all sort of under either return to play protocol or modified protocols.
Starting with LeBron, kind of what do you expect out of him at the starting camp? Will he be able to participate tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit longer of a ramp up leading into opening night for him. Obviously, year 23, uncharted territory here. So I felt, and you talking with performance and talking with Mike and LeBron, like he probably did too much last year at camp, which was was great for me as a first-year head coach to get buy-in from him. But it'll be a slower process with him leading into the first game. He's obviously got 22 years so far of wear and tear on his body. He's dealing with a little bit of nerve irritation. So we're playing the long game with LeBron. Gabe, he's just modified. He should be good to go live by the end of the week, and we expect him to be able to play Friday. And that's just, again, the management of his knee. And we did that as well. Marcus is dealing with a little bit of Achilles tendinopathy. He's been in a slow ramp up. He was a modified participant, nothing live today. We expect him to be fine by the end of the game. And then I think gave you guys all the information himself yesterday.
Coach, from the players who did participate, who stood out to you?
Luka was pretty good. I think a lot of times in camp, right, you're doing a lot more drills and you're doing games with constraints. We did 2 5-minute scrimmages at the end. So call it, 45% of the time was drills, 55% of the time was live, but a lot of the live.
And like with the Athletic, what was your first practice like as a Laker? Obviously got some pretty good work in.
Yeah, a lot of attention to detail. We competing. A lot of guys came in to camp into shape, so everything really was going smoother. I think coaches like it. JJ liked to practice a lot, and us just competing and being vocal from day one. So I like it. It's pretty legit, and everybody got a purpose.
You and Luka entered the league at the same time. Spent draft night together at the hotel before you guys made it to the arena. What was it like finally practicing with him as a teammate?
I don't even know, like something we spoke about or we thought about. You think what I'm thinking, and it finally came to life almost in a way. Coming up as draft prospects and finally here in 8 years in. It's our 8th year together. So it's actually pretty cool to be this young in our age and finally link up and to work together and just be a vocal point of the team.
What do you need from the coaching staff and the teammates during the preseason to be as prepared as possible for opening night?
What do I need?
Yeah, or what are the things that will help you to be as prepared as possible?
I don't know. They already gave me open arms and the city already welcomed me. I don't even know what I need. I already got everything I need. Just make sure my endurance and I'm ready to play and compete and ready to do whatever I'm told. Basically, whatever the team needs, I'm here.
DeAndre, Brad Turner from LA Times. How do you normally use preseason practices and games to ramp up for the regular season?
That's how you get the rust off. That's where you let the reps be moved out. Anything you need to shape up or polish up a little bit, this is where you get in the lab and you get it out your system. Watch film and get closer with your teammates and work on your condition. Just being available and knowing the task ahead and what the coaches want for the season.
Edwin Garcia, screen and roll. I see the shirt obsession. JJ just mentioned that's going to be kind of a theme this season. What does that word mean to you in the basketball context?
Obsession about your craft. I'm obsessed about my craft being better and just bringing the best contribution to the team. Holding my end of the bargain. Putting work in where there's no questions asked really. Walking in the building and just setting the tone, being a great teammate. Just being coachable.
DeAndre, Kobe Price, OC registered. JJ's mentioned wanting to get to offense earlier. He said that you guys are able to do that.